Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be here. I think some of you may recognize us as regular sponsors of LINX events. We always find it a good opportunity to meet with a lot of our existing customers and potentially some new ones too. And really nice to hear that there's some new members here today, or new participants. And in traditional sort of ProLabs style, we do that sort of race the sat-nav concept, and we try and get our presentations done very quickly. Not everybody wants a sort of sales pitch from a sponsor, so we try and stay away from that and try and be as quick as we can. So just bear with me. So, topic for my discussion today, I use that term lightly, I guess, but is around the optical time domain reflectometers. It was pointed out to me earlier by someone that's been trialing one of our little units. And I should probably refer to this as a light version versus the full version. I'll kind of take that point on board, actually. So I guess I'm hoping that the majority of the people in the room are familiar with OTDR. And if you're not, please come and visit us on our stand next door, and we can talk to you at length about it. So I'm not going to spend time talking about what that is, but just really lay down some of the kind of ideas and things that we believe are important. So in terms of the benefits of OTDR and who would likely to use those, there's a lot of people in the room here that either use it already, potentially could use it, or will use it in the future. And I think one of the areas to look at is people that have got potentially some of the rural deployments with long deployments of fibre, not necessarily contained within a data center. And by being able to monitor that fibre infrastructure can be beneficial in terms of being able to track down faults and breakages, etc. So the solution that kind of we have just launched, in fact some of the people in the room here are trialing it, is devices that enable you to monitor that fibre for things like breakages and intermittent problems, etc. So what do they typically provide? Well, there are a variety of OTDR solutions available on the market already. There's some very large-scale ones that potentially are embedded into large infrastructure-type products. And there are also tools available that engineers carry in their hands. And the two tend to be extremely expensive type devices, fully loaded with a significant set of features. So what we've introduced here is something that is a kind of a light version that does a number of things, but in particular, just pointing out some of the things here on this slide, that ability to update management systems in terms of data changes or threshold changes within the infrastructure. And what's been highlighted here with my precarious kind of yellow line is breakages in a fibre connection. So should the JCB go through the fibre, that ability to be able to detect the length of that fibre to where that breakpoint is obviously very important. And this is just an example here of showing you that detection of being able to pull in and out different lengths of fibres and the detection of it. Some other features within the platform around network services validation. So as well as being able to monitor the physical fibre, that ability to monitor some of the layer 2 services as well, things like Y1564, RFC 2544, those in-service testing validation capabilities, typically used for the birth certificate type environment. So when a circuit is deployed, you can actually see what the characteristics are of that, and then you can monitor for any degradation. So should the fibre start to degrade with perhaps being driven over several times, or perhaps a transceiver is degrading, the laser's degrading over time. Also being able to do things like port loopbacks, service level loopbacks, and also with that ability to do accurate microsecond type evaluation into things like packet loss, packet delay variation with things like TWAMP and Y1731. Also the ability to sort of gather stats on a per service and per port basis as well. So a variety of things contained within pretty low-cost kind of devices. Hopefully the kind of things that you might be interested in. So please come along and see us on our stand next door if OTDR and service validation is important in your infrastructures. And that's me done. Short and sweet. Okay. Over to
question. One of the things you said was laser degradation over time. Do you see much in the way of failure of the internals of the modules over their expected lifetime?
We do, actually. I mean, our principal business is transceivers. So we do see degradation in some transceivers over time, depending on the quality of the lasers. So they can, the power output can start to tail off over time. A lot of that comes down to the choice of the laser selection at the time of manufacturing the devices and the quality of those. But yeah, we do see degradation. Obviously, this gives you the ability to monitor that over a period of time to see if it is degrading. No one else? I think it's break time.